If you follow Tyson 4D for copywriting advice, there are some things you need to know because the story you've been told isn't the full picture, and I've got the receipts to prove it. Look, this is not the video I wanted to make today. I've been sitting on this for 3 years because honestly, I didn't want to come across as petty or start drama, and that's on me. I should have spoken up a long time ago. But since I get DMs every day asking me, was Tyson really in your program? Did he learn client acquisition from you? Why does he pretend he doesn't know who you are? So I figured instead of answering the same DMs for another 3 years, I'm going to make one video, lay out the facts calmly with evidence, and show you the timeline of events so you can make up your own mind. So you may have heard rumors that Tyson got his start in my CMB program. And yes, those rumors are true. Tyson 40, or should I say Tyson Benoit, was in my program, and according to emails where my assistant sent him the agreement, he joined on April 14th, 2022. Looks like he does know who I am, after all. And to his credit, he was a great student. He was hardworking, dedicated, submitted his copy for review on Matthew's coaching calls, and was active in our Facebook group. In fact, there are several posts from him here in our group, like this one where he landed his first client just 11 days after joining CMB. And this one where he apologizes for not being active and then introduces himself to the group.
Hello everyone, my name is Tyson and I've been fucking up. So basically I've been in CMB for like a month now. A little bit about myself. I've been doing copywriting for about 3 months now. I have one client. I've made about $1,000 so far. You know, nothing crazy.
It sounds a bit like you were just starting out when you joined us. And here's him messaging me directly, telling me how valuable the trainings were and asking about the replays because he didn't want to miss anything. And this email that he sent me about our head coach, Matthew, who copy chiefed his work every week for months and really helped him improve as a copywriter. And then we have the big reveal. 0 to 20K a month within 10 months of joining CMB. I had to scroll back through 3 years of posts to find this because he deleted his profile. But this post is still there. That's his testimonial, his face, his words, his numbers, posted inside our community for everyone to see. Honestly, looking back, the writing was on the wall. I mean, the hoodie, the cold-blooded stare, the fact that he already has a dispute in his Stripe account. This is literally Anakin turning to the dark side, and I don't know how I didn't see the signs. But hey, hindsight is 2020, right? So we've got his testimonial, his emails, his WhatsApp messages to me, his praise for me, Matthew, and Ray, and the program, all documented, as well as 600 CMB members who were in the community at the same time as Tyson. They saw him on the calls, in the chats, posting wins. So whether or not Tyson was in our program is not up for debate. So then one day I saw a video of his pop up in my YouTube feed, and when I saw he had started a channel and it was starting to take off, I was actually really proud. I thought, cool, you know, one of our guys is becoming one of the biggest copywriting channels on YouTube. Like, that's awesome. That's really good for the industry. More people learning about copy is a win. So I reached out privately, congratulated him, and invited him to do a guest training for our members. I thought it'd be cool, you know, full circle moment. But instead, this guy blocks me, goes into his Discord, starts laughing about it, and then did the same thing to Matthew, the coach he'd worked with privately for months. Blocked Matthew too. That definitely caught me off guard. Didn't make sense at the time, but now it makes a lot more sense. Now, let me be clear about something because this is important. I don't mind if someone takes ideas they learn from me and runs with them. That's the whole point of coaching. Outreach frameworks get reused, sales structures get reused. That's okay. That's how the industry works. I didn't invent copywriting or client acquisition. But when I teach something I learned from someone else, I always credit my mentors. It's the right thing to do. Where I draw a line is when someone blatantly denies they were ever a student, when hundreds of people watched him go through the program, when someone rewrites their origin story to pretend they figured it out alone, and when someone takes that material, repackages it, and then sells it as their own original creation. Now, is that illegal? No, I'm not saying it is. But hiding where you learned something and then presenting it as your own original IP, that's a choice. And it tells you something about how comfortable someone is bending reality. That's all I say about that. You can connect the dots yourself. Now, I wish this was an isolated incident, but there unfortunately is a very clear pattern here, as is evident from the dozens of people in my program who started with Tyson and have since come out sharing their experiences with his programs and the way they were treated. Because this isn't just about me. This is about the people who trusted and continue to trust this guy with their money. One such student, who understandably wishes to remain anonymous, bought Tyson's program called Copy Client Accelerator for $497 because he couldn't afford CMB at the time. He wanted to learn how to get clients and thought Tyson's program would be a good entry point. So he went all in for 3 months on Tyson's outreach strategies and shared his experience in our group in a detailed 5-minute voice message, which I would love to play, but I won't because he's asked me not to share it, and I'll of course respect his privacy. But he has allowed me to share these screenshots of his experience. And later, when this person found out that Tyson had been in CMB, he confronted Tyson directly on Instagram, mentioned my name where he says, quote, Tyson played dumb and acted like he didn't know who you were, even though he has multiple text and video testimonials sitting in our Facebook group with his face in 4K. After implementing Tyson's strategies and getting no results, the guy asked Tyson for a refund. No response. Then later, Tyson came back and tried to sell him a more expensive program. And he's not the only one. These are people in my community and elsewhere who bought Tyson stuff and had similar experiences. I'll let you read through those. And it's not just my students or my community who are fed up with his narrative, to the point where 2 years ago, I got an email from a guy called Iman, who is supposedly his Discord mod, who sent a message to the entire Discord of 60,000 copywriters, letting them know Tyson's little secret. I mean, when your own moderator, someone who's deep inside your operation, decides to blow the whistle to 60,000 people, that says something. Now, this Iman guy also said in his email to me that he included a link in that Discord post with a link to some of the times that Tyson admitted to copying me. So apparently Tyson has even admitted this behind closed doors. Now, this Discord mutiny even led to very well-respected copywriters in our industry like Daniel Throssell writing about the situation and sharing his own thoughts. In this email, Daniel quotes a clip where Tyson claims there was basically no free copywriting training before 2023 and then shows only his own videos as proof. Which is an interesting claim, given that free copywriting education has existed for decades. And I had a video up in 2020 that apparently Tyson liked enough to copy the title down to the exact capitalization. I've also had copywriters confess to me in private that a lot of Tyson's videos were supposedly copies of Alex Catoni's videos from 4 to 5 years ago, which were definitely made before 2022. Now look, that's not a formal accusation of plagiarism. I'm just relaying a message that I've got from multiple third parties. But I think we can clearly see a pattern here, especially when less than 2 years later, Matthew, the copywriting coach who Tyson learned from and then later blocked, messages me with a side-by-side screenshot of his offer and Tyson's new offer and says, "I've never been so directly swiped ever." It seems that Tyson really took the copy and copywriting to heart. And then there's the whole millionaire thing. One of his most popular videos is titled something like, "I took Andrew Tate's course and became a millionaire in 1 year," where he says in the video that he had his first 90K revenue month, which is not even remotely close to being a millionaire. That's not me being nitpicky. That is literally a high 6-figure difference. And even after people pointed it out publicly, the title stayed. To me, that looks less like an honest mistake and more like a narrative that he's choosing to keep. When you zoom out and look at the pattern, a pretty clear picture starts to form. Downplaying where he learned things, inflating stories and titles, talking as if nothing existed before he showed up, and calling himself the copywriting GOAT after less than 2 years in the industry. I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know. And people on Reddit have been saying the same thing independently for over 2 years now. This isn't some hit piece or coordinated attack. These are separate people in separate places all over the world, all arriving at the same conclusion over a multi-year span. Now, a lot of people think I hate Tyson, and that's actually not true. I do have a lot of respect for his work ethic and for building a 200K copywriting YouTube channel. Like, that is legitimately impressive. He's helped quite a few people get started with copywriting, and that's what it's all about. And hey, here's my #1 source of referrals. People find his channel, then they find out he was in my program, and they come to us because they'd rather learn from the source. So I can't be mad about that. So, why make this video now after 3 years of being quiet about it? Well, there's a few reasons. First, because whether he likes it or not, Tyson is one of our CMB graduates. So when he misleads people, my name gets attached to it behind the scenes. I have a responsibility to address that. Second, if you follow Tyson, you and I are on the same team. You care about copywriting, you want to learn a valuable skill that you can monetize while helping good businesses grow, and you deserve the full story about where his methods came from and how he's treated the people who trusted him with their money. And third, because frankly, I'm just sick of answering the same questions every day, so I wanted to set the record straight once and for all. Now, if Tyson wants to make some response video and keep pushing his version of the story, that's up to you who you want to believe. But everything I've shown you is very well documented. We have hundreds of CMB members who can attest to Tyson being in the program with them. I've actually held back a lot of screenshots and call recordings because I want to keep this civil. But if anything did ever need to be independently verified, we have more than enough evidence for that. The conversations happening behind his back in the copywriting coaching industry are not flattering. So my advice would be to clean it up. So Tyson, when you inevitably see this, I've watched one full YouTube video of yours, and it was at the very beginning of your channel. There's only one thing I remember. That's when you said you wanted to be a role model for young men. You've talked about setting a good example. Role models credit their teachers. They tell the truth about where they came from. They don't need to pretend there was no copywriting education before they arrived or call themselves the GOAT in their second year. If you tell the full story from here on out and stop inflating things, I have zero interest in ever talking about you again. I'd actually love to see you win clean because copywriting is a great skill and the world is better when more people know about it. For everyone else, if you want to learn this stuff from the original source instead of the remix, you're in the right place. And if you prefer his style, that's your call. Just make it with your eyes open. This is the first and last time I'm addressing this on camera. Thanks for watching.